Hi, my name is Merita Furi, and I'm the Chief Sales Enablement Officer for IBM Cloud and Cognitive Software. Today, I'm very happy to be with you for about 20 minutes of conversation and then a few more minutes of question and answer. And any other question that you may have that we can't fit in this time, of course, we have many ways to continue the conversation afterwards. So what I want to share with you today is about our journey of sales enablement in IBM and how we focus in client centricity in what we do and how we fit to win and scale. Scale because, of course, it's a large company. So our ambition is to really have the best sales workforce in the market. And what we do in every program has to have a tie on our client and on the value that we bring to our clients. And when it comes to value, the most important thing that we can think of is, yes, of course, what we sell, but also how we sell, the skills of our sellers. And so we constantly focus on how we can lift up, open up, and step up when it comes to skills and learning. So I will share with you our guiding principle, our strategy, how important is in executing this strategy, the role of the managers, and how we are evolving when it comes to skills and learning. And of course, what is the role of the digital platforms and digital initiatives. So in our journey of reimagining learning, there are some important shifts that we need to take into account. Our clients first are going through significant challenges, especially with this COVID-19, and our sellers, of course, have to deal with it. We want our sellers to be considered the trusted advisor for their clients. They want it to be a partner for innovation, a partner that can help clients to go through this challenging time, survive, and thrive. So if you want to have sellers that are innovators, you need to create space for innovation to happen. So what are the shifts that we need to do so that we can evolve from episodic learning, top-down type of cascading learning, overlapping curriculum, and inspection kind of behavior, brand specific, to a world where you have continuous learning, you have curious learning, you have space for self-initiated learning. So you can give some guidance and provide some assets, but really you want to be the catalyst for experiential learning, a platform, holistically speaking, where they can, yes, learn from what you share, but also what others can share in the ecosystem around them. So I'll unfold all of these things for you. First, we are strong believers in design thinking in everything we do, of course, also in sales enablement. And when I started this journey a couple of years ago, the first thing that I wanted to do is engage our sellers. When I say sellers, I really mean any role in the go-to-market, from the client executive to the digital sellers, to the brand rep, portfolio rep, or technical roles like architect or technical sellers, or design consultant or data scientist. So we have all these roles that we constantly enable. And so we have multiple opportunities during the year to engage them in design thinking session, to see how we can reinvent ourselves, how our programs are resonating with them, how they suggest us to evolve so that we can be more relevant for them. But most importantly, how can we measure on activation? How we can provide opportunity for them to collaborate and learn from each other. And how, as you are with them in this journey, you can scout talents, and how you can use those talents to really find ambassadors for what you're trying to deliver. And in those ambassadors, a special role is there for the first line managers. And in fact, I'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. The result of all of this journey is really that you have sellers that are more confident and deliver the high value and quality selling that you want for your client. And all of that, you want to have fun. So we will come to this fun element as we go through this conversation. Let me share with you a little bit more in detail when we look at the enablement experience in 1 year, what that looks like. First, we start with Fast Start. Fast Start has been going on for a number of years now, and every year we just do better. At least that's what the participants, all the sellers tell us with the NPS, with all the unsolicited feedback that we receive every year. And this really motivates us to do even better as we go, because it's really rewarding to see them so engaged and learning and collaborating with others. So we do start with what we call trailblazers. Imagine this moment as when our top leadership is sharing the strategy of how we're going to win in the market, in the various business units, and in the various geographies, and for the various roles. So we have this moment of setting the vision and the plans. Then we get into boot camps. Boot camps are all about practicing. It's not lecture, it's not university style, it's really getting in small work groups and practicing and providing feedback. We have them working in cohorts based on the roles that they play, the offerings that they have, the geography where they work, and so on and so forth. We do allow cross-pollination because we do believe that that's one of the most valuable way to learn as well. And then the week after, a month-long experience that we call on the job starts, where we still kind of engage with them, but really is about putting in practice all the techniques that they learned during the boot camp to accelerate opportunities that they have in work or to identify new opportunities. In fact, we have a special focus on identification of new opportunities. You know, with this challenges that we're going through with COVID-19 that is not allowing in-person big events, and those were the main source of leads generation. We have to be creative on how we can make the top of the funnel healthy again. And so this aspect of opportunity identification and cross-pollination is really very, very important. And in unleashing this energy around cross-pollination, we really use a lot of use cases and how we can help the sellers to think from one entry point, how they can expand, not in the same offering set, but in adjacent one. So how they can grow leveraging other offerings and bring an augmented value to their client. So as you hear me talking through all of this, the client centricity is at the heart and the core, at the root of all we do. And yes, we do that at the beginning of the year, and we constantly continue to deliver smaller type of learning experience, learning roadmaps, opportunity for certification, or just-in-time learning, always with an eye on the client. We don't release any asset or any program if there is not a client value embedded into it. Of course, KPIs are very important. We are data-driven. We look at how we are making an impact with any of the program that we are doing. In fact, we ask the sellers to tag the opportunities in our CRM with special codes so that can allow us to look at what is working more than what program is working better than others, and so that we can perfection those and maybe cut those that are not so relevant. So looking at the skills and how growing in the skills, investing on the skills is really impacting the bottom line is another strong KPI, and we have a very solid line that shows for all the offerings that we have, for all the roles that we have, how learning and advancing the skills truly impact the productivity of the sellers. And this is very important because often, the sales enablement is is considered a cost center. So you really need to be serious about showing the value that you bring. In all of this journey, a key element for success is really the manager, the role of the first line managers. I always say the managers are the backbone of the organization. No matter the size of the organization, no matter the type of business you do, if you have a strong first line manager in your organization playing that role, you can do magic in terms of engagement and productivity and so on. When it comes to go to market, there is one specific deliverable or task that the managers do that can truly make a huge difference. And that's about deal coaching. As you see here, 20% higher win rate can be achieved when deal coaching is done in the right way. So this is not about cadences. It's truly about being an empathic leader, a leader that can ask the right questions to your managers and walk with their shoes, your manager, your sellers, walk in their shoes and really understand what are the challenges that they are facing and look together with them side by side, virtually speaking, on options that they may have so that they can gain confidence and they can move forward. So what I wanted to share with you is what we have been doing specifically for managers. We did launch something that we call Coach for Success. It's rooted on coaching. And we've been delivering quite a lot of content for them. We've been partnering with Colleen Stanley in particular since many months now. And she has been helping us in the journey of emotional intelligence and how that helps in better connecting again with the clients and improve the relationship and the business that you do with them. And more recently, we did deliver another element, which I'm proud to share with you. It's called Client-Centric Coaching Remedy Kits for Managers. So what did we decide to do is, okay, let's look at the client and the journey and the pervasive or recurring scenarios that we can find and how we can help the managers with very specific, concrete help if they are struggling with opportunity identification because the pipeline is shrinking or because their deals are stalled or maybe the deals are unqualified. So we have very specific use cases and content that we've been sharing with them, and it's digitally available for them anytime. And a lot of that content is actually coming from what we call coachable moments that are shared from their peers. So we encourage crowdsourcing a lot, and it has been amazing the participation that we received so far. A lot of them from all over the world willing to share their stories, and all these stories are stories that are actionable. So that on one side you want the other manager to resonate with what they are hearing because another person like them going through the same challenge, but then they want to walk away with something that they can act on. And so far it's going fantastic, very well received. Switching gear around skills, and here we're talking about any role, not just the managers. What we have been doing in terms of evolution, it's something very interesting. We have been moving from a world where we were micro managing and assessing the skills for each of the role with hundreds of skill set, to a world where we really want to focus on what matters. What are the outcome-based skills? Okay, what is an outcome-based skill, you would ask? It is a skill that is a bold skill, not something light and heavy lifting, that you need to have to accomplish what you need to accomplish in your role, what you're accountable for. So there is a direct correlation between that bold skill with an outcome. Examples are advise client on cloud, or engage the client in co-creation, leveraging design thinking, for example, as a method. and so on and so forth. Of course, we go more in detail depending on the role that they have. But this is very important because we are creating a space, an environment, like I said, a culture where simplicity will drive clarity, consistency, and efficiency. So starting with this foundation of limiting the number of skills to say 20, no more than that, more or less 20. And then define the learning roadmaps specific on those roles, on those skills for each role. And really focus on a modular learning so that if you look at all these roles and all this skill map and you observe in this sequencing, which are the elements that are common across multiple roles, then you can like codify these learning elements and create ones and instantiate in all the roles and all the learning journey where make sense. So we, as you see, we are very agile in the way that we create learning experience and content. And obviously this is because we live in a world highly dynamic. So it is important to deliver curated content, but most importantly, it is important to deliver something that it's concrete and is rooted on the client value and constantly evolving as the needs of the client evolve. So that's how then we execute all you saw in the previous slides. I was walking you through the fast start and the continuous learning. Of course, in a normal world, we would invest quite a lot in-person type of event, but guess what? We are isolated and we need to leverage the digital experience the best we can. So we've been investing a lot in evolving our digital experience and making sure that we engage them in sharing their stories, examples I was mentioning earlier with the managers and coachable moment, share ideas, share digital assets like high value demos and so on and so forth, encourage collaboration and reward the people that do so. In fact, this will be my last nugget that I want to share with you, our experience with gamification. When I started this job, this was one of the first things that I introduced because I saw in my previous world when I was working in the ecosystem with startups, with universities, with business partners, that a lot of innovation is driven via gamification. A lot of engagement and fast learning happen that way. I don't know if you have kids, but I have two, and young kids now just learn watching video through games. And so let's think about how that can be applied in the selling world. So we started with a few games about how you can accelerate your time to learn, maybe a new offering or a new sales play. So earn to learn. And then we added other categories like challenging them to share high value assets. So essentially crowdsourcing. Why that? Because see, the enablement team, no matter how smart we may be or experienced we may be, we are not touching the client every single day like the sellers and the tech team do. And in one of my previous jobs, when I was traveling and meeting clients all around the world, I noticed that the local team always had very powerful, high value, tailored demos or whiteboards and other assets like that. So how can we harvest these treasures? How we can reward the people that take the time to share, maybe to curate a little bit those assets so that can be high value. And that's exactly what a gamification platform allows you to do. So you see, so far we had 126 games or challenges. We had more than 22,000 participants, which is a huge number. You can see the number of winners there. Blue points. What are the blue points? Blue points are like blue dollars that you can earn And then you can purchase in a larger catalog a lot of different things, from purses to watches to dinner for two to a small vacation to fitness gadget and so on and so forth. Many different things that you food that you can buy. But really, what made the difference in the adoption of the gamification was when we launched the leaderboard. Sellers are very competitive. When you start to have them seeing who are their peers that are maybe excelling and advancing because they've been taking more time to share their win stories, their whiteboards or any other digital assets, and so you want to be on the top of the leaderboard, and so that's how we saw that feature really made the difference, and now they are the ones going into our game on to see what is the next challenge, how I can win more points, how I can earn higher position in the leaderboard. So I want to leave you with this reflection. Gamification is very powerful and very flexible, a very modern way to drive the right behaviors when it is properly implemented. We learned a lot through our journey, and I'm very happy to share with you that. It will be a whole entire conversation around gamification. But think about it, can be implemented in many different ways, and everybody can do it. You can start small and then grow if you see traction, but think about it, it's very powerful. So with that, I want to just thank you for your time, and happy to answer any question you guys have.